article with the title Assessing the Impact of Game-Based Learning Quizzes on Learning Education Students' Motivation. So here I would like to present about the introduction. Background of the research occurred to determine and assess the potential of using quizzes, an online learning platform combined with games to increase students' motivation in the learning process. Next, please. There are several importance of the study in language speaking and learning. The first is this research could identify that motivation is very important in learning as it is a key factor in successful learning. And then this research could investigate the effectiveness of gamification in language learning. And last, this research could investigate the effectiveness of quizzes platform as a learning tool and investigate whether these platforms can improve students' English language learning. And next. The article we made is supported by several opinions from the experts, including the first is, according to Yakub et al. 2003, in the learning process, students tend to succeed if they have high learning motivation. Motivation is a fundamental psychological construct that drives an individual's behavior, actions, and decisions. And then Jesse and Ryan 2015 state that self-determination theory, or SDT, is a motivational theory of personality development and social processes that examines how social context and individual differences facilitate different types of motivation, especially autonomous motivation and controlled motivation, and in turn predict learning, performance, experience, and psychological health. Here, our group uses two types of motivation from the theory of self-determination. The first is intrinsic motivation that comes from hobbies, and extrinsic motivation that comes from score obtained to fulfill grades, for example. And the last is Rahayu and Purnawarman 2019 state that quizzes is a free and easy to use online formative assessment tool that help teachers assess students' language as well as their curriculum knowledge. Maybe that's all from me. The next material will be delivered by my peer.
All right, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Sasi. So in this occasion, I will present about the methodology employed in our study. Our research question centers on understanding the impact of integrating game-based learning with quizzes media to increase students' learning motivation. To address this question, our research objective is to investigate the impact of integrating game-based learning using quizzes as the media chosen to enhancing students' learning motivation. And for the method, we have adopted a qualitative approach for our study, rooted in the principle of self-determination theory, or SDT, as proposed by Ryan and Desi in 2015. Our study involves 15 English education students from a state university in West Java. The participants' average age falls within the range of 17 to 21 years old. And then the data collection was carried out using Google Forms comprising 15 statements and 2 open-ended questions. The design of the questionnaire aligned with self-determination theory to ensure comprehensive insight on how quizzes can influence students' learning motivation and at the end influence the outcomes. In analyzing the collected data, we employed descriptive statistic and interval scoring as suggested by Sumartini in 2017. These methods allow us to effectively quantify and interpret the responses obtained from the participants. So our methodology combines quantitative analysis with the theoretical framework of self-determination theory to investigate the impact of integrating game-based learning with quizzes media on students' learning motivation. That's all I can say. I give it to the next presenter.
All right, thank you, Sasi. Next, please. All right, for the findings overall of the data we gained, the result can be concluded that quizzes has positively affected student motivation intrinsically and extrinsically. This can be proven by some of the data that we put in the next slide. So in the intrinsic part, the results show that 14 students or 28% gain a strongly agree attitude, while the 31 students or 62% gain an agree attitude. It can be means that 90% of students have a higher level, or indicating that quizzes have made learning English more enjoyable and motivating. Next slide, please. All right. For the intrinsic part, the results show that 29 students or 58% gain a strongly agree attitude, while for the 17 students or 34% gain an agree attitude. Here, the 92% of students feel pressed to compete with their classmates. As for the another chart, the results show that 5 students or 10% gain a strong agree attitude, while for the 35 students or 70% gain agree attitude. Here, the 86% of students, though a notable percentage, do not feel this pressure strongly, feel that quizzes help them boosting their confidence in English. You may next slide. All right, thank you. For the comparison with previous studies, Aulia 2020 investigated student perspective on using quizzes as an online assessment tool for English language teaching and learning. As for the current research, we assess the student motivation regarding the use of quizzes in English education. Next, please. And for the insight we gain from the data analysis, the first is the use of quizzes in classroom activity can increase student motivation. And the second is features in quizzes can make learners feel more fun and competitive in learning English. Maybe that's all for me. I give it back to the another presenter.
All right, thank you. Now we're going to talk about implication for language teaching and learning. So the first one is we're going to talk about implication of the findings for language educators. The first one is utilizing gamification elements. So the competitive aspects of quizzes, such as leaderboards and rankings, were found to motivate students to improve their performance. So educators can incorporate these elements into their teaching strategies to stimulate a healthy competitions, encouraging students to strive better for results and stay engaged. And then the next one is balancing extrinsic and intrinsic motivations. So the study reveals that while intrinsic motivation is crucial, extrinsic motivations like extra points or rewards can also play a significant role in motivating students. So educators should strike a balance between these two types of motivations by offering external rewards and simultaneously fostering an environment where students find intrinsic value in learning activities. And then the next one is providing immediate feedback. Like quizzes' ability to offer instant feedback is powerful motivators for students and helping them understand their proficiency levels and identify the area that need improvement. So language educators should ensure that choosing platforms or methods include real-time feedback. And then the next one is we're going to talk about recommendation for classroom practices. The first one is integrate game-based learning tools. So regularly use platform like quizzes to make language learning more engaging. So these tools can be used for various activities, including vocabulary drills, grammar exercise, and etc. And then the next one is leverage competitive elements. So incorporate competitive elements such as leaderboards and ranking to foster a sense of healthy competitions. And the next one is diversify questions types. So you use a variety of question types in activities such as multiple choice, true or false, and short answers and matching question, including multimedia resources like audio and video, can also enhance learning and keep students engaged. And then the next one is potential impacts on student learning outcomes. The first one is, of course, improve motivation. So the combination of intrinsic motivation can significantly boost students' motivations to learn. Intrinsic motivations are driven by interest and enjoyment, and extrinsic motivations fueled by rewards and competitions can lead to sustained effort and persistence in learning tasks. And then the next one is enhancing engagement and participation. So using interactive and gamified tools like quizzes can make learning more enjoyable, leading to higher levels of student engagement and participation. And then the next one is higher academic performance. So the combined effects of increased engagement and motivation, attention, and confidence can lead to higher academic performance. Students are likely to perform better through standardized tests, classroom assessment, and language proficiency exam. That's all for me. I'll give it to the next presenter.
All right, thank you, Anjar. And now I would like to explain about the challenges and limitations of this research. There are several challenges that we faced when doing this research. The first is limited resources. We had a little difficulty in finding an article or theory with a limit of the last 5 years. And when doing this article, we also had a short time deadline. And the next challenge was when collecting data, we had a difficulty collecting complete data from the participants because of the short duration of time. And the last challenge is the difficulty in choosing the right data analysis method for this research. And the next is the limitation of this research. This research was conducted in a short time, so it may not be able to capture change that occur in the long terms. In addition, this research also used a small sample size, only 50 participants in this research. Therefore, the result of this research may not be generalized to the entire population. And the next is suggestion for future research. Our suggestion for future research are to use qualitative methods for research on the quizzes user experience and use a larger sample size. That's all I can say. For the next, I'll give it to the next presenter.
All right, thank you. So as for the conclusion, the result shows that quizzes enhances motivation through competitive elements like rankings and leaderboards to fostering achievement and performance improvement. However, a small percentage of respondents reported minimal motivation due to infrequent use. But overall, the use of quizzes media in English language education effectively impacts on increasing students' motivation, both extrinsically and extrinsically. Furthermore, this study is expected to contribute to other studies and encourage teachers or educators to use quizzes as an English language learning tools. Maybe that's all we can say. Thank you so much for your attention. If you have any question, don't hesitate to ask. I'll give it back to the moderator. Thank you.